When you're younger, you use intimacy as a currency. If I do this, you will love me forever, as like an attachment style. Because whether you're anxious attachment, abandonment, whatever your issue is, lots of us use intimacy as attachment. Welcome back. It's your host, Halli Smith, for another episode of Girl Core. Valentine's Day was yesterday. It was Saturday. Today is Sunday. You guys are listening. I say Valentine's Day wrong. I have been trying to say the N. Apparently, I've been saying it with an M, and I don't know what to do, guys. I have a speech impediment, okay? So give me a freaking break. Your girl is trying. I'm in Miami, right? Because little update, your girl moved from California to Miami. And I've been loving it. I think it's been so beautiful. I did get a little bit like scammed, yes, because there's been a few incidences since I moved to Miami. First of all, I got scammed by the weather because everybody was like, it's always sunny in Miami. It's always hot and sunny. It's been so freaking cold. And I mean colder than freaking California, coldest cold I've ever felt. I feel like I'm in the Antarctic. It's been like a cold front that they've never had before. Two girls from California, I don't do well in cold. Like I love skiing and all that, but like in my everyday life, and before I moved to Miami, I did a full closet cleanse. I got rid of most of my sweaters and jackets, just like things that I never wore really. And I was just like, I don't need to bring it to Miami because it's always hot and sunny. And I just like packed hella bikinis and a few little cardigans. That was a mistake because then it gets like the coldest cold front they've ever had. But I also almost did get scammed because one night I was going to this pizza place. It's called Miami Slice. And if you've seen it, you can look it up. It's amazing. It's these giant pizza slices of like whipped feta, pepperoni, spicy honey. If you guys have never tried spicy honey, please get on it. It is delicious. It's literally just like honey, but it's spicy. You can get it at Trader Joe's if you do be shopping. If you're not American and you don't have a Trader Joe's, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you can make it at home using like chili flakes and honey, but it's so delicious on anything. Pizza is really delicious with. Anyways, we pull up to this little pizza place, right? It's a busy street. It's kind of like nighttime neighborhood. And I'm with my man and I'm with his Swedish family. Okay. So whatever. I see this guy and he has a little bit of a vest on. And they're like, oh, look, there's like a parking guy. Like he's like a valet. Like we can park here. And I was like, guys, I don't think he's valet. I'm pretty sure that man is just wearing a vest. Like, I don't think he's actually a valet. But they were like, no, he's valet. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, okay, you little Swedish bastards. No street sense at all. So I'm like, as a girl born and raised in a city, okay, Los Angeles, I think I can tell a scam from far away. But I was like, you know what? That's just on me. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. Next thing you know, we get out the car. This guy, he's like, okay, yeah, park right here. He directs us into the spot. And then he goes up to my man and is like whispering to him. And I see my man's face and he looks a little bit startled, like, what? And I can't really hear what's going on. And my Swedish in-laws are just like looking confused as well. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a fucking scam. And then he turns around, he's like, okay, we're actually not gonna park here. We're gonna move the car. And everybody's like, what? Why? Why are we moving the car? And I knew something was wrong because I knew this guy wasn't a freaking parking agent because like the Miami Slice, it's like a regular pizza place. Like there wouldn't be valet for this type of pizza place. And also it was just one parking space and like this entire area with just one random guy in this back street. We're not parking here because the guy says that if we don't tip him, he's gonna smash our windows in. And we were like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, the guy was not valet. He was just some random guy wearing a sweater, doing a little side hustle. And he was like, yeah, if you tip me, your windows won't get bashed in. So that was our welcome to Miami. So we immediately drove off because we were like, well, we don't have money. We can't tip you. Sorry. And the guy did not have a cell phone or anything, so there's no Venmo or Zelle. And either way, I didn't really trust this interaction nonetheless that he wasn't going to bash in our windows if we parked there and tipped him anyways. So we drove off. And what do you know, Halli, my street smarts were on par because I turned out to be right and that guy was not a valet because it was just a really random, sketchy situation. And I'm like, these sweet little Europeans about to get taken advantage of. Of course, it wasn't a valet. I knew the situation. But besides that, I've had a lot of fun in Miami. Obviously, Valentine's Day yesterday. I want to lie to you guys and say like I had like the craziest spicy night. You know, I was doing some crazy butt stuff. I don't even know, like some crazy night. But that didn't happen. Your girl was so tired. Miami drained me for Valentine's. Okay, Valentine's. Am I saying it right? I'm putting as much emphasis that this is not an M. I'm saying the proper way. Anywho, we go to this pop-in restaurant, okay? It's on the river, it's bopping, there's a lot going on. Am I just getting old? Because the restaurant was DJing loud ass music the entire dinner. And I mean, like, your girl loves an ambiance, okay? I love a little loud music, a little energy, especially if like you're on a date night and maybe you're with this person 24/7, so you have nothing else to talk about. So a little loud music does help. But I'm telling you, this music was so loud. I'm screaming. I'm yelling to hear the person in front of me. It was blistering loud. And I'm like, am I just getting old? Because why is this music literally thumping? Now, I get it. It's Miami. It's the vibe. And it's on like the river, so all the yachts are going by. So I guess like they just want to bring in the yacht people because it kind of like looks like a lot's happening when there's super loud music playing and a DJ and you can hear it outside the street. It was literally like it was so freaking loud. And I think I'm just turning into a grandma because I remember when I would work in restaurants for years and people would always tell me like, "Can you turn down the music? It's so loud in here." And I was like, loud. Like it was like usually it was like a medium. I'm like, oh my gosh, old people in a Miami restaurant on Valentine's Day would lose their shit because you can't hear shit. It sounds like you're in a full-on club. Like if you're ever wanting to go to Miami, just be aware most of the trending fun restaurants are literally blazing loud. This happened too when my in-laws were in town, my little Swedish in-laws. We went out to a little nice dinner also at one of those, like, it's like next to this giant river and there's like yachts that go by. And I was like, oh, this would be perfect for them to see. Like, so outside the norm of Sweden. So we go there once again, blazing loud music. It was like, I couldn't hear shit. And it just got to the point where like nobody could hear each other. So my in-laws were just like speaking Swedish. And although my Swedish is getting better, it's definitely not at all there yet. It is a learning process. And I couldn't hear shit. So half the time I was just like staring off into the distance because none of us could hear each other. Anyways, Valentine's Day dinner is going good. I'd say the food was like, it was okay. It was okay. Okay, guys, because I think in some Miami restaurants, you're really just paying for the ambiance. This is one of those, and like kind of knew that going in because the reviews said so. And I'm a bit of a foodie. Your girl loves to cook. One of the things that I got for Valentine's Day was like Martha Stewart's cookbook because I have been wanting this so bad. Like I kind of wanted it for Christmas, but I didn't ask anybody for it. And then I kind of remembered at the end that I wanted it. Anywho, your girl was really jazzed for this cookbook. I was looking through it. I was flipping through it. And I was just getting all into my foodie mood. And I was like ready to eat last night when I was on my Valentine's dinner. You choose a nice restaurant, you want something yummy. It was okay. I did like the seafood pasta and the seafood was very fresh. Like that wasn't the problem. It was more just like it wasn't like very flavorful. It was a little plain. It wasn't that good. And then it was just kind of like, this and that. And I'm not a big drinker. They had like lots of good cocktails. Like everybody's like, they had really good cocktails. But surprisingly, I'm not a big drinker. I'm not like really into that type of stuff unless it's like a special, like, I don't know, birthday party or like drinking event with a bunch of friends. But I'm not just gonna like drink to drink, especially just because I hate the side effects. Like your girl is very acne prone. Like my acne can flare up so easily. I'm actually having like two really annoying breakouts on the side of my face right now. One of them is just like one of those kind of like little side nose congestion ones. Like I get sometimes just like being sweaty and sleeping. And then the other one is on my cheek. And I don't even know what that's from. I think it's just like from my IUD because that's like the hormonal acne. But anyways, it was really annoying. So I was like, I'm not going to drink because I don't want to get more acne. And then like I was already like, okay, the food is mid and I don't really want the cocktails. And then I looked at their menu on Valentine's Day night. How is a restaurant not going to have any chocolate cake? Your girl loves chocolate cake. And I feel like chocolate cake is such like a staple for a good Valentine's dinner. It's so yummy. Either a lava cake, a chocolate cake. I've had like fucking flourless cake. Like if you want to make it healthy, go you, whatever you want to do, gluten-free. But there was no chocolate cake and there was no tiramisu. My other delicious dessert that I love is tiramisu, and it wasn't even on the menu. What type of restaurant doesn't have that on Valentine's? A little chocolate cake, a little tiramisu. So we went to go get tiramisu afterwards, okay? Because we were big backs and we're like, you know what? We need our tiramisu. So we get out of this banging loud restaurant. It's popping. It's so cute though. Like the vibes are up. We're looking at all the yachts, like all the little like sugar babies and old people on their yachts going by. It's hilarious. It's entertaining nonetheless. The restaurant, although like kind of mid food, was still fun for the vibes. It still gave what we wanted. But then we go to get our car because we valeted it because like it was just like a shit show of parking. So we're like, screw it, just pay for the valet. You're better off. And then we see our car. And we're like, oh, like, that's weird. Like, it's kind of parked off on, like, the side street parking. And then we see a parking cop walking by who's writing up tickets. And we're like, wait, that's weird. Like, looks like there's something on our car. And it was a freaking parking ticket because the valet, I guess they ran out of space. So they started parking on the side street. But, like, that's, like, where you usually have to pay for parking. So we did not pay for parking. So we had a ticket from the freaking police. And we had to go up to the valet guy. And they were like, oh, yeah, we're going to get your car. We're getting your car. And we're like, well, there's no way you're getting the car because our car is like right in front of us. Like that's not a problem. Like some old people in front of us, like not to be mean to the old people, but like the old people were being old people. They were being so mean to the valet guy. They were like, where's my freaking car? And they did not say the word freaking. Okay, guys. And they were like, where's my freaking car? Like this is so freaking stupid. And like throwing a major tantrum. And these people were like 60, 70 years old, like throwing a tantrum that their car was taking a minute. And if it's a busy Valentine's Day night, like if it's a busy holiday night, I'm going to expect the valet is going to be a little backed up and busy. There was multiple people waiting for their cars. There's two guys running it. They have one guy who's sprinting to get your car, and you guys are going to be an asshole and you can't give a guy a break. Like, that's what I just don't get about some older people when they just lose their shit. Because I don't know about you, but I feel like Gen Z, even like younger, some millennials just really are nicer to customer service, and they understand that a person is trying their freaking best. Like, when I see a man sweating, dripping sweat, running back and forth to grab cars, I'm gonna be freaking nice to him. Like, why are you being so rude? And these old people are throwing a fit, and I'm over here like, yo, I don't want to add salt to the wound, but like, we gotta talk to the valet because we have a ticket on our car. And like, that's like, like, I'm understanding, like, I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it, but like, we still need to get this somehow resolved, whether maybe we just don't cover the valet costs because we got a ticket, like, we'll cover that and we don't pay you guys. So like, we're talking to the valet. He's having a rough night. The valet is full. So many cars are pulling up being like, hey, can we park? Can we park? And he's like, no, we're full. This old guy's yelling at him because his car isn't there yet. We have to talk to him because there's a ticket on our car. And like, he was so sweet and like worked it out perfectly. We were like, dude, don't worry. He was so stressed. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It got so busy. My guy must have just parked the car there thinking like, whatever. And we're like, dude, don't worry about it. Let's just like fix this, like find some resolution. We did, and everything was cool. And then those old people got their car acting all like crazy about it. Like, where's my car? And I'm like, dude, like, if you see it's a holiday, there's multiple people waiting for their car. I don't know about you. Like, I've grown up in LA. I've waited like 30 minutes for a freaking valet. Like, it takes time, especially if you're in a big area. These people are running to give their cars. Like, why can you not be a nice human freaking being? And why are you like cursing out the valet who's literally dripping sweat, doing his best to like have urgency? Like, now if the guy was like walking super slow, not on it, but like these guys were so on it. They were doing their best. And I'm just like, I'm never gonna be rude to customer service. Even like in the restaurant when I was eating my dinner, the staff, everything was taking a while. We got our steak, we ordered it medium. It's like rarer than rare. Like the steak is mooing at that point, but still not a big deal. Just send it back. The server was super cool and just like, oh my freaking gosh. And I'm not gonna yell at the server. Once again, like, as somebody who worked in the food industry for years, why are you yelling at your server when the food is cooked incorrectly? It's the cook for the most part. Yes, possibly it could have been the server who entered it wrong into the computer. Maybe they put rare instead of medium, but for the most part, usually servers, we are not entering it wrong. It's just the kitchen who messes up the order, who puts things on the side of it that you didn't want, or who over or undercooks your food. Usually it's not our fault, but even if it is like the cook's fault, like, it's busy day, it's a holiday night, shit is happening. So like, I'm not one to ever take it as a big deal unless it's like crazy, unless I'm like really waiting for some food. I might ask the server to like, hey, check on the food because maybe something did happen, because like, I am the queen of being a server and forgetting to run my food. So I'm not, like, once again, like, I give all excuses in the book. So it was just like super stressful. And I was like, why is everybody getting their panties in a twist? I then go outside though, because there was like this giant outside the Valentine's restaurant. Sorry guys, I'm trying to say it right. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Valentine restaurant. They had this giant like heart bouquet that you could take a photo in front of. And I'm there getting my photos. I'm not used to the Miami sassiness, okay? I'm from California, Los Angeles, okay? I'm from like, oh yeah, no problem. Like, everybody's very relaxed or very just sweet, or even if they're not relaxed, they still have like this California common courtesy. So I'm just like a happy girl. And there's this cute girl and her man taking photos in front of the hearts. They step away, they're looking at their photos. So I just look at her and I'm like, hey, are you guys done taking photos? And she's like, yeah, we're done. And I'm like, what the I don't know what crawled up your ass, but I'm literally just trying to be polite because, hey, if you want more photos, I get it. If they didn't come out good and you still using the little heart backdrop, it just drives me crazy. People here in Miami are so rude. Once again, I'm ordering a coffee in a little coffee shop, right? I walk in, I see this really yummy looking coffee being served up over the counter. It has like this whipped cream shit on top. It just looks delicious. The barista killed it. And there's this girl about to grab her drink. And so I walk up to the counter because I'm like, ooh, maybe I'm gonna order that. I walk up to the counter and the girl just like hands it to the lady. And I'm like, oh, hey, I point at the drink and I'm like, hey, what's this drink? This looks so good. First of all, the girl who ordered the latte looks like I'm about to rob her. She clutches her latte in her hands and gives me this dirty, confused look. I'm not gonna steal your latte. I'm literally just asking what the latte is. Even the barista was rude and was like, it's a pistachio blah, blah, blah. And I was like, holy shit. Like, sorry I asked you about something that you just did. First of all, I'm complimenting you. I'm like, hey, that drink looks delicious. What is it? And the barista looks at me like I just freaking asked her what her freaking social security number was. And I was like, dude, okay. And the girl clutching her drink like I'm about to rob her of her freaking pistachio cream latte. I was like, first of all, I fucking hate pistachio. So now I don't want that shit. I thought it was matcha. But I was like, damn, like, what is with the attitude in Miami? That I can't get behind. Like, It's not even like, I get like, you don't have to be fake. You don't even have to be nice, but you don't have to be a cunt. And that is what I really am not getting behind. It's just the Miami sassiness. I guess it's just like freaking different. People say, oh, there's so many New Yorkers and all this and that. I've met plenty of New Yorkers just as sweet. I feel like just because you're from a place doesn't mean you have to be a complete piece of shit. Like, I don't get the rudeness. It literally drives me insane. Don't even get me started. Now I'm just ranting. Don't even get me started on the people driving here. Yeah, Miami just got ranked like the most annoying, stupid place to drive in all the United States because it like nobody follows the rules. I see people doing the craziest shit. Like, I mean, like LA drivers, come on. We are known for being aggressive, having our issues, our traffic. I have never seen people disregarding the laws here like they do. I literally had somebody, like, this is just one example. They're in front of me, right? It's a left lane. You can go left or you can go straight. So we are all in the straight lane, but there is a car at the light right in the very front who decides in the lane going straight that, hey, I want to go left. And it's a green light. So they just stop there. They don't move. Everybody's honking behind them being like, dude, move. They don't move. They're in the straight lane, but they want to go left all of a sudden. So they just stop there and make the entire line miss the green light in an already trafficked up area. Like, it's already backed up. And then instead of just making a left, like they had their blinker on to go left, even though they're in the straight lane, and just literally didn't move out of green because they just want to go left. Then they make a U-turn, almost smash the car to their left because that car was actually in the left-hand turning lane. It's just freaking insane. Like, it's not going to make sense when I tell you guys this, but Miami drivers are terrible, and the people are honestly very mean here. But besides that, I still like it. I think it's still a fun place to be. I think like the atmosphere is cool. I think there's lots to do. I like the foodie scene. I like most parts of it. But I do have to say, your little California girl is getting shocked by the rudeness up in here. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. I've just never seen it. I'm like, am I just a soft little sprinkly cupcake and people are just like harder than that? But like, even me, I've traveled a lot. I've been around, and I know not to be loud or obnoxious or like, being like just whatever the hell, an American. But still, nonetheless, I am shocked by the people here. This is not the first interaction I've had where people just being rude. Half the time, I can't even tell if I get customer service. You're tired, you're bored. But even in that coffee shop, I was like, damn, girl, I just asked you what you just made. I was complimenting you. I feel like in an LA coffee shop, it'd be like, oh yeah, girl, that's this. And the girl drinking it, who I asked her who her coffee was from, would be like, oh, so yummy. You don't have to be super nice. You can just be like, oh yeah, this one's so good. Recommend it. Or hey, yeah, pistachio. But it's just the sass here that I don't get behind. And even like people just being mean to customer service all the time and the rudeness, I just cannot get behind whatsoever. It really makes me like pissed off when I see people being so rude to the customer service. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, have a human heart. But the even crazier thing, I'm just like ranting now. I'm just like Miami rant. But no, I had one of my friends come in. Okay, she's from Sweden. We're going out and about. Obviously, like, we're still tourists. I'm still new here, so I'm still touristing. We go down to the design district, which is where all like these fancy clothing stores are. First of all, the Miami guys here have me shook. Okay, because like I'm from LA, right? I get guys that are self-centered and care about how they look and dress and the plastic surgery, all that shit. Like, it's LA. Trust me, I know about narcissistic men. But the men in Miami are even worse. I've never seen such me-centered men in my life. I know I'm just like bashing on Miami now, but like, it's a great place. I still like it. But nonetheless, like, it's just like men who think they're the shit, who are dressed in like their designer, their luxury. They're with their girl. But usually like a guy, I prefer a guy who's like, yeah, I look good, it, I'm dressed in whatever expensive shit, I have my nice car, go for it. But their wife gets the attention, okay? Like, their girl is the center stage. But here they are. I feel like a lot of the men in Miami are acting like their shit don't stink, pretty much. And I'm like, this is insane. It's not just like we went specifically to the design district, which is like the super just like fancy, wealthy stores, things like that. So obviously you're going to have rich, stuck up bitches, but that's like everywhere. Like, you just see Miami guys acting like they walk on fucking water. And I'm like, what is with this energy? I do not find it attractive. I do not want to be in a competition with who's better dressed, better looking, me and my man 24/7. And they're just like rude, like so stuck up. I am from LA. I've seen rich bitches left and right, but like the stuck upness here is a whole nother level. That is my little rant on Miami people because it has just been a real good shocker. Nonetheless, though, my Valentine's night was fun. Went home, though. I was freaking exhausted. I was tired. I was like, I had a beautiful Valentine's, woke up, had a little gifties, went to the farmer's market, chilled. But your girl was exhausted, and I was like mentally wanting some Pound Town. Do not get me wrong. Obviously, I've been talking about it. I am the queen. I am this pink water bottle. If there is somebody to be cracking on Valentine's, it would be me. But at the end of the day, as I tell you guys, there is no pressure to ever give it up just because it's a holiday or somebody's birthday or a special event. You do what your body wants. And if you ever go to Pound Town and you don't want to, it's not good to do that. If you're like, oh, I don't want to, but they want to, and I don't want to piss off my partner, I don't want to piss off my situationship or my hookup, or feel like you need to, because if you don't, you're going to lose them because you're using intimacy as a form of attraction to get somebody to like you better, using it as a currency to make your situationship want to be with you. Or maybe if you're better, they won't leave you. Like, there's so many ways that we use intimacy to attach to people. And it's really unhealthy. And it's kind of a process because I used to do this shit all the time. Like, when you're younger, you use intimacy as a currency. If I do this, you will love me forever, as like an attachment style. Because whether you're anxious attachment, abandonment, whatever your issue is, lots of us use intimacy as attachment. And as you get older, you realize like that's just BS. You should listen to your body. You should listen to what you want. So when you're tired, you don't have to. Me and my partner were like, hey, we're freaking tired. Like, can we just go to bed? Like, your girl got in the shower. I washed off my makeup and I was feeling beat up. I did my skincare. And you know when you do your skincare, ladies, and you don't want to crack right after. You don't want to go to, you don't want to get down with your partner because you're like, bitch, I just did my 7-step skincare routine, okay? Everything is drying down. If I crack with you, I'm going to get sweaty, I'm going to get messy, and then everything's going to get messed up. And I already had a pimple and I might have low-key popped it because, well, I do the 5-second rule, guys. If I have a pimple, I touch it. If I squeeze it, you have 5 seconds. And if it doesn't immediately pop or something like that, then I'm not touching it. It's done. She's not ready. And I'm already like, I don't like picking my skin. I'm not like a face picker. I don't really have that itch. I think it's like, I'm just not good at it. And I don't like the feeling of popping a pimple. Like, I don't get satisfied in the same way that, people like to. So I did, though, because I gave the 5-second rule and it just immediately popped. And I was like, yay, wipe that off, clean my face. So I was like tired, exhausted. And I'm like, I just want to go to bed. I am tired. I just need to go down. I was like, I woke up this morning like I was hungover. I got crazy off that Coca-Cola last night. Actually, Coca-Cola, not to be mixed up with the other thing, because people think that because I talk fast and do everything fast, I probably am doing the the white powder, but I'm not. I actually just drink a Coca-Cola because your girl, that's like my favorite soda. So that is like my fun special occasion drink if I'm at a restaurant. So I try not to drink as much soda to be responsible to my health and wealth. But anywho, I wake up devastated. First of all, eyelashes crimped to the shit. So I have on these little like at-home extension eyelashes that I like to wear. I actually got this new set of lashes, guys. If you can see them, blink, blink, blink. These are the bunny lashes. I get these on Amazon. I've low-key been like wearing this other brand, but for the first time I see these and I was like, oh, these look so whimsical. I think these would look really cute. I've been wearing these. Anywho, though, they're thick and I'm a stomach sleeper. So I sleep on my stomach. I squish my face into the pillow. I wake up, eyelashes are crusted to my face and I peel off multiple lost lashes. I'm like, okay, there goes a few. Gonna have to fix that, which I did. And then I take a bunch of blood on my face and I'm like, what the frick happened? I don't know if I had like a pimple. It looked like it was on my nose and I didn't even have a pimple there when I went to bed. But when I woke up, there was a pimple and there was blood. So I guess I had probably slept on my face and it somehow popped. You're like, ew, this is so gross. What are you talking about? But literally blood on my face. Eyelashes everywhere, looking beat up, looking like I just like partied last night hard. Literally didn't even do that. Went to bed by like 11. I don't even know what time it was. Anyways, your girl went to sleep and I woke up devastated. I was like, I just need a shower and a coffee and a wash my face. So whoever cursed me on Valentine's Day, count your days, count your blessings. Because why did I wake up yesterday on the sweet day of love? And the first thing when I go pee, I don't usually look down at the toilet while I pee. TMI, guys, no TMI, whatever. I look down at the toilet and I see a red drop perfectly, just one drop into the toilet seats. And I'm like, no, what the flying frick? And then I see it. I'm like, oh my gosh, my period started. Why is my period starting? Because guys, I was bleeding a few weeks ago and I was like, this is not that time. Why did it start today? So whoever cursed me this V-Day, whoever cursed me, count your days, count your blessings. I revoke that with harm to none and goodness to all, because what? Oh, literally don't even know why. And then I wake up this morning and no period, like not a drop. You know, ladies, when you wake up and you have a pad on and you're like, not a single drop. Period is such a good feeling when you see that day after having a period and you're like, finally, not a drop on that pad. We are in the clear. Then sometimes she's like a ghost and she pops back up. You're like, oop, thought it was done. Psych. But no, she was cleared. And I was like, okay, I guess I just had my period for a day on just the day of love, a little V-Day. I was just planning on doing some backdoor fun because I was wanting some and I was on my period anyway. So I was like, it's a win-win. But didn't even get that because I was so freaking tired. I got my backdoor plug right here and I didn't even get to use it. I didn't even get to have fun like that. But nonetheless, it was a good day. That is my little rant about Miami. Do love Miami. Miami people or people that have been here, don't come for me. I'm just like not used to the rudeness. The rudeness is driving me crazy. All right, guys, it's that time of the episode. Q&A time. Let's get into it. I get asked a lot, guys, where can I DM questions? Where can I DM you, Halli? Girl, I got you. You can DM me on Instagram. You can comment it on YouTube, or you can comment it on Spotify. There's a swipe up at the end of every episode that says comments. You can leave your comments there so I can see them. I look through it every week before every episode. I collect all your DMs. I go through them. I check all my DMs on Instagram. I try to check as many as possible. And always stay tuned on my Instagram. You can join my broadcast channel. If you go to my bio and you're going to see like my little bio, you'll see my little girl core broadcast channel. I do a lot of Q&As there where I get questions from you guys and I answer things. So join that if you want to make sure you stay up to date and can see the opportunities to, I named it Girlish Delights. So if you enter on my Instagram bio, you'll see that Girlish Delights. It's the broadcast channel. It's where you can like interact with you guys. But I leave a lot of polls and questions there for you guys to answer. That just answers that little question. How can I get on the episode and have my question answered? All right, first one. Hey girly, how can I stop my reflex when going down on the pink water bottle? Okay, baby girl, if you are a girl that has a bad gag, you're like, I cannot go down without it literally choking. First things first, there are a few methods. You need to breathe through your nose more. Breathe through your nose, okay? Big deep breath in, because most of the time we're kind of mouth breathing when we're going up and down, and then that kind of triggers the reflex. Yep, I know it's weird, but it does be happening. So if you do that, it does help. The second thing I do say is the position. What you're doing the pink water bottle sloppy toppy in will affect how bad your gag is, okay? So I love to do like upside down, head off the edge of the bed, positions like that where it kind of slips past that little gag in the back. I like to think, in the back of your throat, you have that little punching bag. I don't remember the name of the word for that little punching bag in the back of your throat, but that little punching bag thing, I feel like is getting pushed against when you're in normal positions, like when you're just on your knees or doing something like that. It's way easier for that to get triggered. Whereas if you're upside down, I feel like it kind of slips past the punching bag when you're giving sloppy. So mix around with the poses. A little classic 6 to the 9, okay? Not 6, 7, 6 to the 9. That one is perfect for slipping past, I feel like, that little punching bag. And it's kind of like a little slip around hack to make it better, because that usually helps me. There are so many methods of holding your finger, holding your thumb, clenching your toes. That one I have to say kind of works. I like that one. Sometimes the holding your thumb, it's kind of just like a distraction technique. Like you pinch it inside, people say works, but I prefer clenching your toes. If you have a bad gag reflex, you need to clench those claws. And your man's gonna be like, baby girl, why are you clenching your toes? It's because I'm trying to give you that sloppy toppy. So maybe that will help you. Just a few quick fire options to help you fix the gag reflex. Next one, hey baby girl. Recently, I've been trying to finish with my man, but I always feel the strong urge to pee. Every single time I get up, I go to the bathroom, but I come back and I try to relax, but it does not go away. I feel like I have to pee. This is honestly kind of normal. I feel like sometimes whether you've gone pee or not, it's kind of just like a sensation that you have to go. It could just be that maybe you're kind of triggering the G zone, and that usually kind of makes me feel like I have that pee feeling, which is usually actually just you trying to squirt, or it just could be kind of like that feeling, that tingle, that pleasure feeling. And I feel like if you haven't, maybe if you're newer to Pound Town, you haven't had a lot of that pleasure feeling, it might kind of feel like the thought that you're gonna pee, but it actually might be the sensation of building up to the big O. It could be actually that sensation, and you're kind of mixing it up, because people say that like kind of when you hold your pee for a really long time and then you go pee and it almost feels like orgasmic. It's kind of like that. An O almost feels like a really good pee. So if you're constantly feeling like you might have to go pee, it might just be yourself trying to, reach the O, or it might be that you're a squirter and you might be about to spray. So don't be afraid. Maybe next time that you do feel that little tingly, try to kind of lightly breathe and just lightly push almost like you're gonna take a pee. I know that sounds gross. You're not gonna pee. You might just be a squirter. So it might just be a little surprise, a little sprinkle. I don't think your partner will be disappointed. I saw this one girl that was like, my man kept trying to make me squirt and I kept getting annoyed because he was rushing me and I didn't want to squirt, but he kept trying to ask me to squirt, so I just peed on him. So, you could just do that too. If a man ever is like, babe, I want to make you squirt, but he's not doing the action to actually make that happen, just pee on them. Screw it. Why not? Honestly, that's also so gross. Don't non-consensually pee on your partner. Please don't. Nobody would like that. Hey girly, curious what to do about self-pleasure. Why is it not working for me? Okay, if you're trying to do a little solo time, wiki DJ set down there, but you're like, girl, it's not clicking. What's wrong? It could just be that you're not getting the right stimulation, and that is the mental stimulation, okay? Down there, yes, the physical is very important, but the mental is honestly more important for lots of women. We need to be mentally into it to get into it, and that even means when you're by yourself. So I would try to mix it up. I had a friend who had this exact problem. She by herself just couldn't get there. She couldn't get there with a guy, but she couldn't even get there with herself. And I was like, you need to try anything and everything when it comes to digesting spicy content, whether it's listening to audio, spicy stories, a little bit of smut. You can listen to it. You can read smut at the same time. Yep, I know that's like weird. You're like, who flicks the bean and is reading smut at the same time? But that's me. I used to do that all the time. It was my favorite. You can watch videos. And if you are going to be watching spicy corn, okay, don't feel like you need to find like one video. Sometimes it takes a while, okay? From one gooner to another. Sometimes when you're watching corn, you're not going to immediately find the right video. So mix your genres up. Think outside the box. Click some different tabs. Click some different search categories maybe you haven't clicked before because maybe you just haven't found what gets you there. And if you are newer to doing solo time and watching or digesting this type of content, you might just not have found what you enjoy. So don't be afraid to scroll around and find what you like. And as well, some people are just mental storytellers. Some girls just like to lock in and kind of like think of their spank bank and like who they think is hot. Okay, if you got a crush on a guy, you can then start thinking of some spicy scene in just your head and imagining it, depending how good of imagination you have, and start rubbing one to that. There's really different options, but I feel like if you are struggling to reach it during solo time, it might be that you're not finding the right mental cues to get you going. So figure out what gets you going and mix around with it. Grab your pillow, grind on it a little bit, fingers, your hand, maybe use a toy. Obviously, I am team toy. There are so many good toys out there. These ones I love. These are my Unas. This is like the bright one. This is a plug that's maybe a little more advanced, but there's lots of different toys and beginner advanced ones that you can try. Don't be afraid of like trying different poses, standing up, sitting down, arching it. You might just be not in the right pose. So mix up your content and mix up how and what you're doing when you do. And that hopefully will help you become a pro gooner. All right. Next question. Also, Gooner, that was one of the questions that I got asked. One of the DMs, I forgot. I don't even have it here, but somebody was like, Halli, I need to know, like I always see TikToks about it. What is gooning? Gooning is when you watch a bunch of spicy content, like back to back to back to back. You're like on a marathon. It's like binge watching a Netflix TV show. That's what gooning is. It's when you binge a bunch of spicy time with yourself. Whether you're just in your head going at it, whether you're watching content, reading smut, whatever you're doing it back to back to back. You're doing it for a long time. You're doing it for 20, 30, 2 hours. Some people goon for like freaking 5 hours. That's insane. I have to say that's a record. But gooning can really go forever. It's pretty much just when you're, pleasing yourself by yourself and you're really setting some record time, just like you're binge watching some Netflix. Next one, girl, please. Is the first time meant to hurt? My boyfriend didn't even get all the way in and literally it hurt so bad. He was so big and I am so tight. Oof, baby girl, I feel for you. If your partner is really big for the first time, it's going to be a little bit more warm up. As I say, do not be disappointed if the first time is not the first time because it takes practice to warm up, to get in the headspace. You hear me? Literally, even with hookups, even if it's not your first time, I feel like adults even put pressure on themselves, women, that when you go to bed with a guy that you have to, pee in the V immediately. But even when you've done it multiple times, it's still hard to relax. You know why? Because a woman's pelvic, a woman's coochie is meant to stretch, and that is called tenting, where pretty much your coochie expands and takes in, okay? Sometimes you're tight and you can't relax, and that is because a woman's coochie is like a rubber band. It expands and then it snaps back to one. It always tightens again. Your kitty is never loose. It might feel loose in the moment because you're relaxed and enjoying yourself, but then it goes back to that tight form. After children, after birth, again and again, your coochie always gets tight again. It is just purity culture and virgin myths that a girl gets stretched out from too much use. Freaking hate that. That is a myth. You're not going to get stretched out. There's no way to stretch out. I don't care. Okay. That is just a myth. It does not happen. It always gets tight again, which means even if you've gone to Pound Town 100 times, you could be really tight with a new partner, with somebody again, with your regular partner. And especially if it's your first time and you have zero experience, it's okay that you might have to try like 5 times until you finally get it all the way in. And it finally happens because, again, you're learning how to relax your body, how your muscles work, how to relax that muscle, what you enjoy mentally and physically, because as women, the physical and the mental are 2 separate things that you have to get going at the same time to make it happen down there and you to get in the right headspace. So it might hurt the first time just because you're not relaxed. Obviously, if they're bigger, immediately get some lube. Baby girl, you need it. I don't care what age you are, it's for everybody. Get some lube, something to help you relax. I think more people should honestly, before your first time, have your partner give you a massage. I know this is so random advice, but women, there's nothing like a good body massage to help you relax and get into the mood. And when somebody starts to massage your whole body and they start getting near the thighs and massaging your inner thighs and around the butt, that is very sensual in a lot of androgynous zones and feels really nice. And even the top of your body, your chest, besides just your actual tatas, your chest is a very androgynous zone. Like just your collarbone, this area, your shoulders can be a very sensual area. Full body massage will literally get you into the mood so quick. I know this is so random. You're like, baby girl, what? But literally tell your man, babe, if you want me to get in the mood, I need a full body massage, okay? The pink water bottle girl said it. I need it. Hopefully that will help you relax, but do not feel pressure. Use lube, take your time, go slow, and find poses that work for you. Try different poses because one pose is going to feel really easy. One might feel super tight. Like I wouldn't do doggy if they're super big for the first time. Not a good idea. Maybe, I know it might sound intimidating, but actually getting on top for the first time is amazing because then you control the speed, the rhythm, and how much of that pink water bottle you are taking. Being on top is elite for your first time. People like to say like, oh, missionary, blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. You want to be in control of that magic pink water bottle for the first time. That hopefully helps you, baby. All right, guys, that wraps up another amazing episode of Girlcore. I had so much fun with you guys. I hope you guys had a lovely Valentine's, whether you're celebrating Galentine's with your friends, with your loved ones. And we will be back next Sunday for another amazing episode of Girlcore.